Welcome to another episode of Love Living Local 315. We are your hosts, Scott and Kelly Greats, and today we're talking all things youth, sports, community, and teamwork with Jesse Sibley and Kari Stinebrickner of the Mohawk Valley NFL Flag Football League. This league is creating incredible opportunities for young athletes ages 5 to 18 to learn, compete, and grow in a fun, inclusive environment. We'll dive into the impact of flag football, the league's growth, and how families can get involved. Let's get the conversation started. All right, guys. So let's talk about inspiration and what got you involved with Mohawk Valley NFL flag football.
So for me, my son has been involved for a few years, and he really wanted me to get involved more. So I took over as president for Frankfurt last year, and an opportunity arose where I took over as vice president for the whole organization, and the president at the time stepped down and kind of handed me the league. So my inspiration comes from just wanting to expand and be able to give opportunities to kids beyond just where we are now. So.
Yeah. What age is flag football?
So currently ages 5 to 18, but they have to be in high school if they're 18. They still got to be enrolled.
So your league covers all those?
Yeah. Yep. So basically, I mean, if you break it down, the age groups, it's kindergarten to 12th grade.
Okay.
So, and we've got 4 different age groups. We want to branch out to 5. We're waiting to see if we can reach that next echelon. Sorry. The next echelon.
Next step, next level. I just changed the word I used.
The next level, of how many kids actually sign up for the league. Right now, currently, we have an age group of 5 to 7 year olds, 8 to 10, 11 to 13, and then 14 to 18 year olds.
Okay. And how long have you been doing it?
I took over as president in April.
Okay.
So it's new. This is the first season where the full season, I'll be president. When I took over, there was only a board of one other person, and I decided to make a board of a bunch of people that truly have a heart for the kids. Yeah. Kari here took over as our community relations coordinator, so she handles concessions, vendors, sponsorship, stuff like that.
All the important stuff.
Yeah.
So let's shift to Kari, because as someone who runs multiple businesses, I know step one is surround yourself with good people.
Yep.
Delegate everything so I don't mess it up. So what does community relations and your role look like?
I've always had a thing for customer service. It's always been helping people or being there for people. So when Jesse asked for help and ideas of how to expand and how to do this, I stepped right in. Like, it was natural. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up coming in at the end of last season to kind of get the feels. And I kind of just took over in a sense because, it was so natural. And there's so many good people, and the community itself is really, really great, but everybody was separated. So what he did is he brought everything together, and now I'm just making sure we all stay together, and try to get as many hands, especially younger kids too. His daughter helps me in concession. We have a bunch of other kids too, and that's what I'm trying to get more kids in, because they need to learn this stuff. Customer service and being around all different types of people is a huge thing, and stepping out of their comfort zone. And that's what I'm really trying to do with the kids.
Are you doing fundraising as well?
That's what we're going to start this year.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything in particular to plug or pitch or make people aware of?
Well, my big thing right now is it's called Country Meats. They're beef sticks. Okay. So everybody loves a good beef jerky stick, and there's, it's not popcorn, it's not donuts. Because I don't want to do what the schools are already doing. Right. I want something specific just for us. So I'm hoping with the beef sticks, and then looking at some local companies like Utica Coffee and Seven Brews. I reached out to Seven Brews, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. So I'm trying to just stay with the local companies rather than big corporations. Yeah,
and
that's the goal.
I have not had Seven Brew, but everyone in my family loves it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is good. It is very sweet, though. So if you don't like super sweet,
I heard they've got some.
Get some less sweet.
Yeah.
They have a secret menu, too.
Well, there goes that. Is that like you have to ask for like the Kari special?
No, you just say, hey, can I look at your secret menu? And they'll be like, all right, here. And they show you the little iPad, and They go through there.
Nice.
That could be my biggest takeaway from this. I got that inside scoop here on Seven Brew. All right, so I'm going to probably date myself, but back in my day, this was flag football was part of Pop Warner, I believe. Obviously, your own league. How many towns are involved? Where do you play? Where do you travel to? Like, what's this look like, the scope of it?
So the great thing about this is Frankfurt is like a centerpiece to all the towns that are involved. So we've worked with Justin Smith and the mayor for the village of Frankfurt, and he's allowed us to use the Hilltop Fields. Mm-hmm. And so we host all the games up at Hilltop Field for the whole season.
Okay.
And so all the towns will come and group up in Frankfurt, and we play our games up there. We normally spend, I think we were spending about 8-9 hours up there at the fields for the day, but it was so much fun. The kids had a blast.
You don't realize that it's 8-9
No,
hours.
Yeah, the time just
You really
flies by.
don't.
Depending on the weather.
Well,
Even with the weather,
The Hilltop's always windier, colder.
goodness.
our last game of the season was the championship game, and we decided to all get drenched and break all our canopies because Mother Nature decided to visit the hilltop again.
Yes. Yeah.
It gets rough up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What day? Is there a certain day of the week?
Yeah, so starting April 27th, that'll be the first weekend of games, and it's Sundays.
All Sundays.
Yep, just Sundays from the 27th of April through the 22nd of June. Okay. The 22nd of June will actually be our tournament, which I guess you could call it our playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then the top 2 teams from each age group will play in a championship game on the 29th.
Okay.
And we're actually looking to get sponsors for just the championship games that would like to come in and hand out rings and stuff like that for the championship games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned cold at the end of the season. So I'm assuming here 2 seasons, spring and fall.
Actually, no.
No?
No.
Currently, we only run in the spring because we don't want to compete with Pop Warner.
Right.
You know, we want to be able to give this as an outlet for kids to be introduced to football. Maybe that haven't played tackle, they get an opportunity to get a feel for football. Because that's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to compete with Pop Warner. I think Pop Warner is a very great organization for the youth in this area. Mm-hmm. They still have flag for their youngest age group. So we try not to compete with them. That's why we run in the springtime. So,
And there's a lot of kids that don't want to do baseball or soccer because that happens at the same time. So this is just another outlet for other kids, or they can do both. So we've had some kids do both baseball and flag football at the same time.
What about the geography? So how many towns, how far do people come from?
So the further out they are, if they want to get a bunch of teams together, they can. But right now, like, we have a gentleman named Kari who brings a team in from Camden. He just brings one team in. We don't tell him, like, hey, get a bunch of kids together, because it's a long drive for kids from Camden. If they want to, they're more than welcome to. We're open to it. We have a team from Morrisville, Mid-York area, getting people together. Whitesboro is part of our league. They work with Oriskany, New York Mills, get kids from those areas. West Winfield has a team. A lot of kids from Richfield Springs, they just go right over to West Winfield to sign up. The whole valley, so Frankfurt, CVA, Herkimer. And this year we just expanded out and we included Little Falls and Middleville, Poland area, just brought in their own team.
Okay. So how many teams, about how many kids?
So we're on pace right now to have over 400 kids this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, last year we had 256, but normally we start our signups in February in the past. We start early this year. We start in January, and if we keep on pace the rate we're going, we'll probably have over 400 kids signed up this year.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and the teams, we keep them limited to about 10 to 13 kids per team.
Okay.
So
we'll do this again at the end, but best way to connect with you guys if people want more information about registration, signups, I guess we'll go to the community events coordinator.
We have a website now that's made, and you can contact us on there. You can actually sign up on there. There's photo releases, there's rules, regulations. It's not just for the kids and the parents. It's also for the future coaches, or people are interested in becoming a coach, or to help in concessions, or just to be there. They can reach out to us there. We have a really good Facebook page. A lot of the pictures are on there too. So if you are curious, you just go on there. And
what's the web address?
it's mvflag.org.
Okay. .org. Yep.
And then Facebook.
Mohawk Valley Flag.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you get a lot of kids who are new to football?
Surprisingly, yes. I want to say for Frankfurt alone, because last year when I started off, I was just heading up Frankfurt. Frankfurt alone, I want to say we had 10 kids out of the 44 that were new to football in general. So, I mean, we do get quite a bit of kids that are new to football and some that only play flag football, which is great. Because some parents, they don't want to necessarily sign their kids up for tackle at a younger age. So they bring them to us in the spring. They sign them up for flag football, and they love it.
The other thing, too, you got to make weight in Pop Warner.
Yeah.
And this was always stressful for a lot of my friends, and actually some of our best players when we got to the varsity level, our linemen, never played Pop Warner for that reason. They could never make weight. So obviously they don't have to worry about that in flag, right? No,
what's great about flag is it doesn't matter your size. So in flag football, we got some big kids, we got some small kids, and even in some of the same age groups. And the great thing is it's 7-on-7, and every single player on the field is considered a wide receiver. So even if you're the center snapping the ball back to the quarterback, you can go out for a pass.
All right, that was one of my questions. Yeah. So different rules, obviously. Yep. So wide open.
Yep.
Blitzing. Are there? I'm picturing like 3 Mississippi. Like.
Yeah, so there's certain rules that NFL flag has. One of the rules we abide by is like a 7-second rule. So the quarterback, regardless of who has the ball behind the line of scrimmage, they have 7 seconds to get the ball past the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Whether they throw it, run it. Now, whoever receives a direct snap cannot run the ball unless they're blitz. And teams can blitz whenever they want.
So the quarterback can't run unless there's a blitz.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long? What other changes? Like, how do these scores get crazy? Like, what?
I think last year, one of the championship games, it was like 46-38.
Okay, so it's not.
Nothing crazy. Not like 100 points or anything.
That's not even like Big 12 football.
Yeah.
Talk about youth sports, right? So obviously, specifically flag, the positive impact, even off the field, that you see with the kids, with the family, with the community.
So I'm really big personally in regards to community. I love the community I live in, even all these communities around here. So last year, myself and the other co-president, Angel Guzman for Frankfurt, we got the kids together, and I believe it was Earth Day or Garbage Cleanup Day. Mm-hmm. We worked with the town of Frankfurt, or the village of Frankfurt, and we went through and helped clean up the marina and took our teams around and cleaned up the marina. We're looking to further that outreach to the whole entire league. We want to be able to get something out there where we can go into all these communities and do that within all the towns that we currently are part of.
Cool.
So
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's very little praise. There's no money. What are some of the challenges you guys face running this league?
I would say, from a financial standpoint, we want to keep everything cost effective for these kids to give them an opportunity to play. So we keep things at a minimal cost to where we literally are almost at a break even, because a lot of cost factors that people don't see, like we have to pay refs, we have to buy stuff for concessions, we have to get insurance to keep the kids safe, when they're playing up in the fields and stuff like that. So there's a lot of hidden costs that people don't see that go into it. I think just trying to budget wisely to make sure that we have the correct funds to make sure everything is covered for these kids to be able to play. And one thing that I'm working on, or the board, I should say, is working on, we want to create like a sponsorship program for kids that possibly can't afford to play, to give an opportunity for these parents to, anonymously sign up for it, to sign their kids up. So,
yeah. How much is registration?
It's $75 for one child. And then if you sign 2 kids up, you save $10. And if you sign 3 or more kids up, it's $65 a kid. So.
Okay. Any specific stories, moments that stand out since you've been involved?
We've had a handful. Obviously, with any sports, you're going to have your bad incidents, but you take the good with the bad. And last year, we got so much praise as a board. They came up to us and they just were so happy. They said things were just looking so great. We had incident the first week we took over, but I think that people saw that we're moving in a new direction, and so we're all about safety for these kids. We're all about giving them a fun opportunity to do stuff. and we're taking it in a new direction. And eventually we want to be like the NFL, you know, we want to branch out, have like a West and East division and be able to play in 2 separate locations.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If you end up like the NFL, you won't have to worry about fundraising, $1 billion TV contracts and merchandising. What about like happy moments, like, you know, things where, you know, certain stories about maybe a particular kid or a team or something awesome that happened?
Well, I think what's really, really nice like that, because again, I joined late in the season last year, is just seeing how many kids and parents and grandparents, aunts, uncles just kind of know that we're there on Sundays and just show up. They're just there. They're having a good time. They asked if we need help. You know, if they normally you got to beg for parents to, hey, we need somebody to run concessions, or we need help cleaning up the field afterwards. And I've noticed now that they've taken over and we are so close with each other, you know, what community wise, that some people just show up and they're there to help us, and it's not all on the board's back. Like it should be, but awesome. It's nice that we have all that help from the community, and it's not just Frankfurt, it's all the other towns that come in.
Yeah. Anything stands out for you, Jesse?
I think for me, it's the sportsmanship aspect. I don't want to say it was lacking, but the sportsmanship aspect, I think I see it on a different level being at the top now, because I'm there to see every single game, because I stay up there for the full 8 hours while we run. And to just see the great sportsmanship from these teams, even the teams that like lost by a bunch, they're out there having a good time. They're laughing. You know, it's even the ones that were winning, like they would put their bench players in and give other teams an opportunity to come back just because they wanted to have fun.
Is there playing time requirements?
So we require all the coaches to get all the kids in. They all have to get in at least 5 plays. Okay. Because it goes by quick. So 5 plays actually might not be much. They get 4 downs to get to midfield, and then 4 downs to try to score a touchdown.
Right.
So
I like it. I mean, you know, in Frankfurt, we had 8-man football the last couple of years, and it's kind of neat to see evolving, right? I mean, as you deal with limited number of players, when you deal with limited volunteers and funding, when, you know, it's just it's cool to see a sport that we traditionally know and a different version of it. And, you know, we kind of with Utica City soccer, you know, talking about that too. Like people think, oh, soccer, boring, low scoring. Like those games they're basically like hockey, but with a soccer ball, you know, but it's just fat. They play at a hockey rink, you know, and a lot of goals. So yeah. What's the deadline for registration? Do you have a deadline?
We're never going to tell anybody no. Okay. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you know? We're extremely flexible, obviously because of insurance purposes.
We gotta have our names,
our cutoff
waivers.
Is April 1st.
Okay,
but we're done doing actual like bulk signups on March 15th, so that way we can get orders placed for jerseys and flags and stuff like that. But we're still allowing signups from March 15th to March 31st.
Do they keep jerseys?
Yes, they get to keep the jerseys, the flags. Yep, they get to keep all that stuff.
Good sponsorship opportunity there. Are you sponsoring the jerseys?
So in the future, we're looking to do it definitely, because I know there's some companies and organizations.
I know that's what Little League does, and basically the sponsor pays for the jersey as well.
I have reached out to a couple of my screen printing friends to see, you know, if we can work on donations and sponsorships, and that's why we want to have that sponsorship program, you know, and they'll get their name on it, or they'll get a sign on the side of the field, you know, things like that. So
I think the biggest struggle for us with that is finding someone who has like the rights to NFL stuff. So we might look in the future of we'll go with color schemes, but we just will
let's talk about that. So you use the NFL is very particular, right, about trademarking and restricting. Like you can't even say, like I can't say, hey, something about the Super Bowl through my business because then I'm in trademark violation. So what does that look like? What's the affiliation with the NFL specifically?
So our organization is actually signed up and affiliated through the NFL flag organization, and they have the rights and everything through them. So what's nice about us is being an organization through them, we're able to have the rights to use like NFL logos on the jerseys because we order everything through NFL flag.
Okay.
So it makes it a little easier. Yeah. So some of these jersey companies, I've actually had a couple reach out to me. And I was like, yeah, do you have rights to NFL stuff? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
That probably does kill the sponsor on the jersey.
It does. Yeah, it does. Because we'd love to work with organizations, but we've even talked about in the future, maybe not cutting NFL out of it, but allowing teams to do personalized jerseys.
Yeah.
To bring in, to use within the league. Like we actually have a team out of Whitesboro. They're the Whitesboro Kings. And they went by Kings last year. They didn't go with an NFL team, so
all kinds of naming issues.
Yeah.
What'd I miss? What's burning inside of you that you want the world to know about this that we didn't cover?
I just want everybody to know that we will never turn a kid away. At the end of the day, it goes beyond flag football for us. We just have a passion for the kids and the youth in this area. We just want to give them an opportunity to do something different. We're even looking at doing off-season stuff that has nothing to do with flag football. Because we just want to give kids an opportunity to do something different.
To keep them busy in the right
way. To keep them busy.
Yeah.
I think technology nowadays has really consumed our kids, and we want to give them an opportunity to get outside and continue to do things outside.
It's consuming adults, too, by the way.
It is.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. But if you're on your technology, so once again, the website is
www.mvflag.org.
Okay. And we said the Facebook page was Mohawk Valley
Flag League.
Yep. All right. We'll make sure that Jay links those in the show notes. Absolutely. We end all of these with rapid fire 5 questions. They're designed to be quick, easy, painless. It's always weird when we have 2 people because it's one question, but I'll let you guys kind of go back and forth. No, just alternate. You can decide who goes first. So if you could play flag football with any NFL player, past or present, who would it be?
Brett Favre.
Kari, you got anyone?
What about you?
I wouldn't be playing flag football. I'll run the concessions and I'll hand out the popcorn and the sodas and the towels and the mouth guards.
All right, fair enough. Best piece of coaching advice you've ever received?
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Push hard.
Yeah.
Break yourself, because then you just got to keep going up from there.
Mine would be your greatest successes come from your failures.
Yeah, that's good. Those are both good.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite football movie?
You really want to know?
I mean, I feel like you're going to have a good one here.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
I get Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel.
That's kind of
Dan Marino.
That's kind of like his. All right. Well, so we're going to use Dan Marino as the answer to your previous question.
Oh, okay.
That you
we can use that.
on.
We can use that.
It's like his Die Hard a Christmas movie. Right?
Yes.
Is Ace Ventura a football movie? I never thought about that, but I guess it is, right? I mean, he's looking the 72 Dolphins. Ray Finkel.
We Are Marshall.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. I, to this day, still get a little teary-eyed. The last scene of Rudy.
Yes.
Which Joe Montana, who was quarterback on that team, said basically the whole movie is a farce. That scene never really happened. But it makes me cry nonetheless. One word to describe Mohawk Valley NFL Flag Football League.
Family.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Family.
Double down on that one. I like it.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one skill every young athlete should develop first, what would that skill be?
Kindness.
Communication.
All right. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Because I think there's a lot of kids that are too afraid to communicate, and that's why they don't really venture out. And that's what we're really trying to get is more kids to be out there, speak up, tell us.
Well, and listen, the friendships, the bonds, the discipline aspect on the field, one thing, I played football up until my freshman year of college that stuck with me is I pushed myself harder knowing that my teammate was depending on me. Mm-hmm. It truly was a we, not me attitude that football brought out more so than any other sport I ever played. And, when you're doing the wind sprints at the end of practice, like you run them harder because your teammates are counting on you and they're going to be counting on you during the game. And so that communication, those relationships, they stick. And it's awesome what you guys are doing with the kids at a young age.
I got one more thing I wanted to mention. I don't think we mentioned it at all. Is we're also co-ed.
Okay, yeah,
all the way up through. And our 5 to 7 year old championship team last year, 8 out of the 11 were girls. So
I believe it.
Yeah.
We at Frankfurt we do the powder puff game every fall.
Actually, it was Frankfurt that won the championship.
Okay,
the 5 to 7 last year.
Well, a couple years ago we were up there, and I'm like, damn, like these girls should be on the varsity team. Like, they're no joke, which doesn't surprise me. I've been scared of women my whole life, so I think I would probably run the other way.
We're not that bad.
Me too. That's why I'm sitting on the inside. So.
All right, guys, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best of luck this season.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love Living Local. As you know, we do not run ads. Our only mission is to shine a spotlight on amazing people doing amazing things here in our local community. If you'd like to support us with this mission, we have 3 ways you can help. You can share our content on social, subscribe or follow the show on your favorite podcast platform, and you can visit our lovelivinglocal315.com website to stay up to date with everything happening in Central New York.